again to the dependency management. That's, as I said earlier, when a bundle is stopped, it's typically cleaned up and the registered services are removed, which means everybody's notified to give up their service voluntarily, and the references to other services are dropped. And also part of the dependency management is that bundles can be notified when a service they depend on is unregistered. And class path dependencies, that's basically package dependencies, are managed. And this model allows long-running applications with dynamic software updates. As I said in the very beginning, so this was one of the design goals, to really be able to keep the virtual machine running and dynamically load and unload applications. So, well, this is some real code which you can hardly see here. And
it'll be in the archives.
Yeah. But just to basically show, that's like a one-page code, fairly lightly populated, and this is basically a minimal set of a hello world bundle that just has an activator which allows the bundle to start and stop, and it prints out hello world when you start it and when you stop it. There is code how to register a service and so on. Security, as I said, we use 1.2 security. The permission classes are used for this, and well, it does the usual Java stack-based checking. And the remark is that it is a little bit CPU intensive, but it is a very flexible way of doing security on top of Java 1.2. OSGi has defined, on top of this, it has defined one protection domain per bundle. Java 2 would allow multiple ones, but we chose one protection domain per bundle as probably the right granularity, because you don't want, usually you assume a code in a bundle to be friendly. I mean, you don't want to protect yourself from your own code. And this is done through the permission or the security admin, and the framework is agnostic to it. So the framework doesn't really enforce the policies. All the policy stuff is done outside in a separate bundle. It's the permission admin service. And well, this is a nice overview how the stack-based checking of security permissions is done. And well, I believe you can look at this in the archives. Here's some API for this, but that's basically most of the technical. So I don't know, we could do some Q&As. I don't know what you typically what the time frame is.
Do you have any specific examples or anything like that that you can show or talk about?
I didn't bring any demos, but I can talk about examples.
Well, yeah, demos or slides or whatever.
I have one even more technical slide on how to, tips and tricks how to implement stuff on top of this. I don't know what the interest of everybody here is. I can talk a little bit about how devices are used in OSGi. That's like my specialty, where I was doing a lot of work for the OSGi.
What kind of products does Gatespace put out?
Gatespace started as an implementation of the framework specification. In fact, actually, the reference implementation of the OSGi framework is that you can download. Is it actually free for everybody or just for members? The reference.
I think it's free for everybody.
So yeah, so everybody can download the reference implementation, and you can then go and just play around with it. So this has been done by Gatespace, the framework, and what we do for a living, other than writing code that we give away for free, is we implemented a management system for those OSGi gateways. So this was done within Ericsson in a project called the E2 Home project. There is a number, I think you referred to the home in Czechoslovakia. Yeah. I know about 2 deployments in, what's the town called? I don't know, it's somewhere in Sweden, it's close to Göteborg. And they have some apartments where they have Java-based OSGi gateways. they have home security applications, they have energy management applications, and they basically run an apartment complex on those gateways. It's a field trial that Ericsson and Electrolux, which is it a Swedish appliance manufacturer? Yeah, they have put this trial together.
And what does OSGi bring to that wouldn't be there otherwise? In other words, what's the value of OSGi in that environment?
The value of OSGi there is that you have different appliances, so each house can have a different set of appliances.
Okay.
And you don't need to, when you deploy the home gateways, you don't need to know previously which environment to expect. So for example, somebody hooks up, buys a new dishwasher, and it might have a really cool user interface, but the dishwasher has been manufactured after the gateway has been deployed. The assumption here is that most of those home gateways will have a fairly long life cycle. So the life cycle of those gateways is expected to be somewhere in the 5 to 8 years, sometimes even more. But you need to later be able to deploy new code to those gateways. And OSGi allows you to dynamically deploy new code to those gateways.
Okay.
So this is one of the things that we've done in this field trial. Yeah. Yep.
Another example might be there's such a mixed environment in consumer homes, and you may have an ISP who is looking to start delivering home-based services on the internet infrastructure to the home. And because the home consumer will have a GE fridge, a Bosch dishwasher, I mean, you know, they don't buy a single
KitchenAid dishwasher,
right.
General Electric
My kitchen is a
refrigerator,
mixture of all sorts of stuff. We're lucky the colors even match.
Black & Decker toaster.
And that's just the kitchen. So if you add consumer electronics, meters, electrical appliances, I mean the whole gamut of what you can find in a home, it's too overwhelming for anybody to deliver an end-to-end architecture that tightly links all this stuff. So you need a very open-ended system.
Well, you know
So if tomorrow I decide to dump my DSL provider and switch to cable, and they're both deploy this framework, it's dynamic. It all still works.
Okay. The guy who's commanding things right now, and this may just be my bias, is TiVo. TiVo has come in and just awakened everyone up to what you can do with video and archiving video and holding it, and playing around with it, and time shifting it, and they're moving out of that into your pictures and your TiVo talking to other TiVos and everything. How does OSGi play into that? Are you guys talking to them? Or?
You know more about that.
TiVo probably down the road is aware of OSGi.
Okay.
Just like all the cable set-top box players are. Just like Sony is. I mean, if you look at, you know, it's interesting, you know, what could California benefit? You know, just a collective societal good. I mean, clearly, you know, we've had all sorts of problems with energy. But the way we deliver energy today, it's, you get a meter reading and it's one rate, and you look at the clock and you see how many kilowatts you've used, and you get a bill, right, or whatever it is. How many watts you use.
There's still a guy walking up the street.
There's no metered service like you have to do for long distance, right? So if we could shift consumption, so we don't drain the power grid, we wouldn't probably need to do all the things we need to do. So I'm just going to cite some illustrations. If we had smart intelligent meters and we had a mechanism to shift consumption, we'd have a wonderful kind of smart utility. If we had home security, instead of Wells Fargo Security or ADT doing an outbound call and stealing my telephone signal for a second to call in and then do a callback, again, we could have another internet-based delivery mechanism for home security. I didn't even touch upon home entertainment with TiVo, but again, there's a plethora of applications that could be delivered there. Home automation, home control, home health sensor, you know, somebody that's aged or needs, you know, the alarm system. Help me, I've fallen and help me. I can't get up.
Don't show me that again, please.
Yeah, there's just so many applications. I mean, we're probably 10 years away from a GPS-based sensor, so we don't have any more 6-year-olds kidnapped. And it'd be nice to be able to capture that, you know, right away. So, I mean, there's a ton of applications. The thing is, If you're ADT, they didn't build an end-to-end infrastructure. They stole the telephone call. They would have never deployed a home security system if they had to build